Hello，大家下午
Hi
好。
everyone, I'm teacher Chun. I've been working in early childhood education for 12 years, but recently I was laid off. I've been job hunting ever since, but I honestly have no idea what I'm capable of doing. Every time I'm out looking for work, I feel so hopeless, like I'm sinking into depression. I check the job apps every day and question myself, should I have switched careers at all? Should I just continue being a kindergarten teacher? I really don't know what to do anymore. During this time, I've tried working as a receptionist and a server, but it feels like after being a kindergarten teacher for so long, I'm not good at anything else and I can't seem to adapt. September 10 marks Teachers' Day in China, a holiday that comes amidst rising concerns in the teaching profession. Despite the authorities' efforts to promote it, a wave of education institutions abruptly closing has left many teachers feeling that their once secure iron rice bowls jobs are now at risk. Recently, a parent in Shuozhou, Shanxi Province discovered that Xingchen Bilingual School had been completely abandoned when they went to collect their child's registration card. The parent stated, "One day we heard from other parents that the school had shut down, but there was no official notice. It wasn't until the class teacher told us to collect registration cards that we realized the school was completely empty." The parent stressed that there should have been formal communication about the closure and instructions for transferring students, but no such information was given. To avoid delaying their children's education, they were forced to transfer schools immediately. On August 30th, staff at Xingchen Bilingual School told reporters that no students had enrolled this year or last. Due to growing concerns, many parents had transferred their children midway through a year. Some followed teachers to other schools, while others were reassigned based on academic performance. In 2023 alone, nearly 400 students transferred out. Local education authorities confirmed that the school had ceased operations without informing parents or applying to the relevant authorities. Students have since then transferred to other schools. In another case, on September 6, the Cover News received a tip from a concerned parent in Chengdu about a children's art education center, Picasso Children's Aesthetic Center, which allegedly ran off the funds at the end of August. Before shutting down, the center ran aggressive promotional campaigns to collect more funds from unsuspecting parents. One parent, Miss Wang, recalled, "On July 27th, I brought my child to class, but there was only a security guard who told me all the teachers were on leave. I was surprised and called the school, but no one answered. I also messaged the teachers, but no response. The next day, a teacher posted in the group chat saying there were some dispute with the school and classes will resume after a summer break from July 28th to August 28th. But the school never reopened and we haven't been able to contact anyone since." Another parent, Miss Jung, shared that she enrolled her child around July 20th and saw a notice that classes will resume on August 28th after the summer break. However, when she arrived on the 28th, the doors were locked. It was only after speaking with other parents that she realized the institution had shut down. Attempts to contact the salesperson who helped her sign up also failed. The Picasso Children's Aesthetic Center, with trained children aged 3 to 16, was located on the third floor of Maoye Shopping Town in Chengdu. Many parents expressed frustration, saying that the center had continued to run promotional events even as it prepared to close. Miss Lee, another parent, said that starting in April, the school's teacher had repeatedly pushed parents to purchase more classes at discounted rates. Believing in the center's decade-long reputation, she paid for classes for both of her children. By mid-June, however, her daughter still had 67 art class lessons remaining and her son had 23 calligraphy classes left. Her total loss amounted to 8,200 yuan, around $1,152. In Xingyang County, Henan Province, the sudden closure of Nurture Garden Kindergarten has left many parents gathered outside seeking answers. We started paying for school on May 15th, and by July 23rd, the kindergarten sent us a notice saying the kids were going to be on break for 2 weeks. Other kindergartens have been sending out notifications, and some have even reopened already, but here it's been silent. Look over there. The slides half torn down. The doors are locked, and the classrooms are piled with junk like it's a dumpster. When we saw what is happening, we all started to panic. We contacted the principal, the person in charge, everyone we could think of, but we couldn't reach anyone. The entire staff is gone.
I paid about 5,000 yuan for my child's tuition, and no one's refunded me. There's no one to contact.
The school has completely messed up our kids' education. They owe us an explanation. Since August 2nd, 2024, parents of students at CS Star, an education center in Shanghai's Jiading district, have been protesting in extreme heat, demanding a full investigation and the return of tuition fees. One parent revealed that on July 31st, a staff member falsely claimed in a social media post that the center had temporarily closed for maintenance. However, local sources revealed that the center had been unable to pay rent for years, and teachers hadn't received their salaries in months. In response to the parents' protest, police used force and detained some of them. According to eyewitnesses, police were aggressive during the arrest and even slammed the head on the parent into the police car. Jiading District Police also allegedly threatened the parents, urging them to delete videos about the incident from social media in an attempt to suppress public outrage. An insider hinted that the owner of the education center may have bribed officials to avoid legal repercussions, explaining why authorities were targeting parents instead of holding the institution accountable. Adding to the controversy, high-ranking government officials, including Premier Li Qiang and Vice President Han Zheng, had previously visited and praised the center. The People's Daily also commented CS Star Education Center in earlier reports. As these incidents multiply, it's becoming clear that school closures from elementary to high schools are becoming a widespread issue in China. Experts point to the country's economic struggle as a primary cause. On August 15th, the National Bureau of Statistics reported that retail sales of consumer goods grew by 3.5% year-on-year from January to July, a 0.2% drop compared to the first half of the year. This figure marked a 1.2% decrease compared to the first quarter. The Economic Observer reported that since March, retail sales growth has been under pressure. Growth hit new lows with year-on-year increases of just 2.3% in April and 2% in June. It slightly improved to 2.7% in July. The decline has been even more obvious in major cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. In the first half of the year, Beijing and Shanghai reported negative growth rates in retail sales, with Beijing down by 0.3% and Shanghai by 2.3%. Consumer confidence indices in Beijing also shows sharp declines, particularly in employment satisfaction and expectations. Meanwhile, Guangzhou and Shenzhen saw monthly declines in retail sales growth, with cumulative growth rates dropping to 0% and 1% by June. Chinese economic expert Wang noted that consumption in first-tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen is a barometer of the country's overall consumption trends. The sharp declines in these cities indicate that public confidence in China's economic future has collapsed. The Commercial Daily published an extensive report on China's economic woes, stating that incomes are falling, leaving families with less disposable income. The government's effort to eradicate poverty have had limited success. In an article titled "The Atmosphere is Terrible," the report highlighted that China's decade-long economic boom has stalled, and the government has yet to find a viable solution. As a result, high-end education institutions in China, major cities which cater to elites and provide international standard programs, are now struggling to stay afloat. The owner of a private kindergarten in Chongqing told Lianhe Zhaobao that a nearby nurture-themed private kindergarten once charged 8,000 yuan per month, but has struggled in recent years due to the economic downturn. As families become more cost-conscious, value for money has become top priority. She explained that her own kindergarten had to lower fees from 1,880 yuan per month to 1,480 yuan. She also mentioned that another kindergarten nearby had cut fees by as much as 40%. To attract parents, many kindergartens have started offering promotions such as early bird discounts and sibling discounts. Experts agree that China's economic downturn and low consumer confidence are key factors behind the financial struggles faced by high-end private training institutions. This had also led to increased job insecurity for teachers at these institutions. Once considered stable, golden rice bowl jobs, teaching positions are now becoming more unstable, with many educators unable to receive their salaries. At the end of August, Xingbei Technology Innovation Center, a training center specializing in Lego robotics and programming courses in Xiamen, Jimen district, also shut down after the summer term ended. In addition to losing their prepaid fees, 7 teachers are owed more than 200,000 yuan in unpaid wages. One parent who is owed 13,000 yuan visited the center only to find a few remaining demo classes in session, with most classrooms empty and new staff at the front desk who knew nothing about the situation. On February 29th, a commentator reported that the Learn and Happy Chu Primary School in Xiangfu District, Kaifeng City, had been open for 4 days, but no classes had been held. Parents revealed that the principal hadn't paid the teachers for 6 months, leaving only 1 teacher per class to supervise students as they watch cartoons or movies. The school cafeteria had also stopped providing meals. Parents criticized the principal for failing to take responsibility for both the teachers and the students. In response, on the morning of March 1st, a reporter from Da Wan News contacted the school's enrollment hotline. A staff member claimed the school had just reopened a few days earlier and that classes were underway. Later, a teacher confirmed that all teachers were back at work and students had resumed regular lessons. A representative from the Xiangfu District Education Bureau acknowledged the issue and stated that officials were actively addressing the situation. According to the school's promotional materials, Le Xue Qiu Primary School was established in September 2015 as a full-time closed boarding school. Meanwhile, teaching positions in China are becoming increasingly competitive, with some regions facing an oversupply of teachers. Many areas have introduced an exit mechanism that effectively breaks the iron rice bowl job security for teachers. Under this policy, teachers who underperform may be dismissed, essentially a form of indirect layoffs. Despite this, millions of people continue to pursue teaching careers. Every year, 10 million people in China take the teacher qualification exam. In 2012, 172,000 people registered for the exam, but by 2022, the number had surged to 11.4 million, a 65-fold increase in just a decade. Unfortunately, for many of these aspiring teachers, the doors to this profession may close before they even get started. Another major issue facing education institutions is the declining number of students. With the economy slowing down, youth unemployment is rising, leading to the emergence of a new generational class called unfinished youth. This term draws from China's many unfinished real estate projects and describes young graduates who cannot find jobs, leaving their lives in limbo, much like these incomplete buildings. Some graduates have no choice but to accept low-paying jobs, while others face long-term unemployment. According to Columbia University sociologist Yao Lu, about 25% of Chinese university graduates aged 23 to 35 are working in jobs below their qualifications. Reuters report that over 200 million people in China are now part of the gig economy. As a result, more people are choosing not to marry or have children. In recent years, China's birth rate has been steadily declining. In 2022, the number of newborns fell below 10 million, nearly 10 million fewer than a decade ago. This sharp decline has directly led to fewer students entering schools. Northeast China is experiencing the most severe population decline. From 2010 to 2020, the region lost a combined 11 million people, with Heilongjiang alone losing 6.5 million, Jilin 3.4 million, and Liaoning 1.2 million. The region's early population decline, along with its continuously low birth rate, has led to a student shortage in primary schools. Data shows that the number of primary school students in Heilongjiang dropped from 1.9 million in 2012 to 1.1 million in 2023. A 27-year-old early childhood educator named Chen Kun has worked in kindergarten since graduating, but declining enrollment has changed her role. Her responsibilities now include marketing and promotional work. Teachers have to handle promotional tasks every day, she told the Lianhe Zhaobao. Chen added that after the kindergarten struggles with enrollment 2 years ago, teachers had to go out and hand out flyers. She said it's frustrating, but most kindergartens are doing this now. Hong Kong media recently reported on Mr. Xu, a principal at a public primary school in eastern Guangdong, who is also struggling with enrollment. As a rural school, its students typically come from local farmers and migrant workers. However, this year, they barely managed to fill half of their first grade class. The main reason includes fewer factory jobs, the migration of workers, and a declining birth rate. Urban schools, also facing low enrollment, are now competing for students, drawing away potential enrollments from rural areas. Principal Happy Chu of a private kindergarten in Fuqing City, Fujian Province, shared a similar story. She revealed that many nearby kindergartens had closed and her school was struggling to fill seats. Compared to its peak 2 years ago, enrollment dropped by 30% last year, and this year's new admissions in September are expected to drop by an additional 10%. As kindergartens continue to face falling enrollment, some private schools are reducing the number of classes, and many teachers are not having their contracts renewed. The early childhood education sector is oversaturated, forcing many teachers to switch careers. Some have shared their new paths on social media, taking on roles as office clerks, customer service representatives, HR personnel, or even nail technicians. Others have joined elder care facilities. According to multiple Chinese media outlets and AFP, some kindergartens are converting into nursing homes to meet the demands of an aging population. Chinese demographic He Yafu pointed out that younger generations have little interest in having children, and the two-child policy has had far less impact than the government had hoped. As a result, the birth rate will continue to fall, and kindergarten will continue to face challenges due to the lack of students. In an effort to reverse this trend, China introduced the three-child policy in May 2021. Several regions followed up with supporting policies including childcare subsidies, parental leave, and housing assistance. However, the results have been lackluster. He Yangfu believes that national-level policies such as childcare subsidies are needed because many local governments lack the financial resources to provide adequate support. Additionally, since populations are highly mobile, local governments may not benefit directly from an increase in birth rates, giving them little incentive to implement such measures.